And he's hit. And he looks over at Leake. And Leake starts walking toward Harrison. And the Pirate bench starts to stand up. McCutchen watches. Josh Harrison hit by a pitch. And it brings up James McDonald.
And they're absolutely at no intent right there as far as I'm concerned.
Brian Gorman is warning both benches. He said, I want it to stop now.
Now, I have a problem with this if I'm Clint Hurdle.
I agree.
I mean, this is
ridiculous.
Yeah, this is
talk about unfair.
Ridiculous.
If I'm Hurdle, I'm furious right now. Pirates just got hit by a pitch. He's going to warn both benches. Well, Hurdle will be. This makes no sense. Obviously now the benches were not warned. We asked Hurdle before the game if it's possible Gorman would warn both managers. It is possible. This is before the umpires had arrived. So Gorman obviously had not done that, and now Harrison gets hit by the pitch and both benches are warned. And he just got thrown out of the game. And if Hurdle was mad before, you just really fired him up, Mr. Gorman. Ryan Gorman just took a chance for the Pirates for retribution out, and he throws out Clint Hurdle. How about that?
This makes
no sense. And this Gorman's a veteran umpire.
That's what's more surprising to me. You have a veteran umpire like this that, you know, and he couldn't have thought there was any intent right there from Mike Leake to Harrison.
Right.
And you know, really, Josh Harrison did kind of give a reaction after getting hit and flipped the bat and walks to first. Leake comes after Harrison. I mean, it makes no sense. In baseball typically polices itself when it comes to beanballs or retaliation or whatever the case may be. This doesn't make any sense.
Wow. Hurdle's getting his money's worth now. How about that? Pirate fans, you can hear them now. Jeff Bannister now will take over. Brian Gorman warns both benches and then ejects Clint Hurdle.
He sends one off the end of the bat right back to the mound. Nobody covering first, so Seton will tag him. Ooh, they got fortunate there.
If you're Gerald Laird, one, you're trying to be safe by head first sliding. It doesn't get you there any faster, but you're also trying to avoid contact with the starting pitcher here, Seton. So many times the pitchers will run into the baseline and then there will be contact, and I'm not so sure that Seton even got him.
And G-Money coming out now, and apparently he may have been tossed. Otherwise he wouldn't come out like this.
That's not good.
Which means Avila is not going to get a day off, apparently. And here comes Leland now to take Laird away from Joe West.
That's terrible. I don't know what Laird said. Apparently he said something that Sam Holbrook or Joe West didn't appreciate, but wow. That's a quick hook here today.
Sam Holbrook, the first base umpire, and Laird is steamed right now for getting tossed out of this game. And Avila, thinking he's got the day off, is going to be pressed into duty, apparently. Now Joe West pointing fingers into the Tiger dugout. Come on, Petrie, Joe, let's just play. And then Leland says, come on now, take care of your own business. Now the Skippers get thrown out of the game. Leland now is going to get his money's worth. So Leland gets a round of applause. He's been ejected from the game. And he'll hand the lineup card over to Lloyd McClendon. And a few parting shots for the skipper as Country Joe watches him walk down the stairs and back into the clubhouse.
All right, 3-2. There goes Ellis. There goes the ball into center field. And a great try. Catch. Yes, catch. The second base umpire could not go out because Ellis was running. And it was the first base right field line ran down to make the catch. We had to wait because there was no sign. But you see, he did catch it. No trap. So it was a good call by Mike Estabrook. Don Mattingly is going to argue. Now Estabrook is going to go over and talk to the other umpires. We couldn't call it, so I just looked at Estabrook, and he finally called it. Victorino is out on a fly ball, but the umpires are going to huddle. That's a good thing, no matter what. You want to make sure you get it right. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The meeting looks like they're going to call it a trap. And Jim Tracy, he caught the ball, Jim said. He caught the ball. He caught the blinking ball. He caught the darn ball. Oh, you're gone. He is gone. That is blinking fertilizer. I'm doing the best to translate. You got to be blinking me. The ball, he caught the ball. No way. No blinking way. No bloody way. Jim's gone, so he's spending house money now.
Down and away. Did he go? Yes, he did. Paul now rings him up. It didn't look like he went. And Pedroia can't believe it as he yells out in the direction of Paul Nauert, first base umpire.
Yeah, that didn't even look close. We'll have to see what it looks like from the side. Pedroia may get thrown out of this game if he's not very careful here. Here's what the umpire is seeing at first base. Oh, that's not even close to a swing. Not even close.
And now looking into the dugout for more reaction. He's getting it from Pedroia. How much more will he allow Pedroia to go on, though, as Pedroia at the top step of the dugout? And Murphy gets hit. And thrown out of the game now is Dustin Pedroia, I think. Now he was thrown out of the game. Second career ejection. So David Murphy gets hit with a pitch, and it is Pedroia who is ejected.
Well, do you think Pedroia yelled to the first base umpire to say that he swung at that? Which is a possibility?
Perhaps, yeah. Doesn't look like Bobby's long for this game either.
No, he's going. I think Bobby still wants him to run him.
So Pedro Siriaco is going to take over here at second base, and Valentine will head to the dugout.
1. The middle, Ackley smothers. Get up! Yeah, he got him! Oh!
I thought I saw some space in between Carp's foot and the bag.
Eric Wedge bowling out of the dugout. Oh,
I think Carp thought he got his foot back to the bag, but on his stretch, it looked like there was a gap there. And the first base umpire, take a look at it. Great play by Ackley as he goes up the middle, fires to first. Can't tell from that side of it. Clearly the ball beat him. Eric Wedge not happy with the call at all. Brian Knight has tossed him.
Get his money
he looked at it and kept his eye down there, and I guarantee you he felt like his foot was off of the base. Eric clearly disagrees. Can't say I blame you. Fight this hard. That was a great play by Ackley with the dive, desperate throw, and then the big stretch by Carp. That'll go in as a base hit, infield hit.
Great effort by Ackley and Carp.
Yeah.
Well, he went and look. He just kept going. And here's a good look.
Well, it's going to be tough to see that gap. You see him stretching. It looks like his foot is on the base right there. I'm not sure how he'd be able to keep his balance otherwise. And even if it wasn't, I have to believe it was able to get back to the bag in time. You can see Quintanilla. He was looking right down at his foot as he was crossing the bag. Here's the effort by Ackley, knocking it down, then just fires it to first.
Takes a strike on the inside corner, and he barks at Larry Vandal.
Adamantly barking right there, just on strike 1. Go up there and do your thing.
Into the dirt.
Same spot. Same spot. That one might have even got more plate.
And Young will probably get tossed. He's gone.
That ball was inside.
Richest man I think I've ever seen Chris Young. He's been ejected from this ball game. Kurt Gibson steps in. Young coming back for more. Boy, he is really hot. He'll be holding on to him. I've never seen Chris Young this mad. I think it's a frustration of a lot of things for CY. Kurt Gibson ushering him back to the dugout.
Wisely, Kurt Gibson getting him back to keep him from getting suspended. I'm sure Gibby's not done yet. I don't think Gibby's done yet.
Called out on strikes to end the inning. The Diamondbacks leave them loaded. They get a run, and they're a little closer. It's a 7-5 ball game now as the Pirates will come to bat in the last of the 7th here in Pittsburgh. Well, Clint Hurdle wants to come out and find out what's going on. He wants to know who is what and where.
Yeah, he said, well, you've been ejected. So we don't know how it happened. But there was no argument from Justin Upton. He just says, heck with it, I'm out.
Sky to left field, long run for Ibanez. It's a fair ball, and it gets by him. Here comes Quinton Berry. He will score, and it's an RBI double for Dirks, and the Tigers have taken a 3-2 lead.
Well, it's going to be some conversation with Tim Welke, the third base umpire. It looked like he had a little indecision on if that was a fair or foul ball. You see Joe Girardi's going to go out and have a little talk. Not sure if that affected Ibanez at all and how he went after that ball, but it looked like Tim Welke a little confused down the left field line.
You can see he said, I'm protesting the game. He said you called a foul ball by putting your hands up, and he's claiming the defense will stop when you put your hands up like that.
See the ball hit, it's fair right on the line.
See the hands up there, and then he says fair.
Not, you know, I don't think that really affected Raul Ibanez from that replay, though. It didn't look like he looked at Welke.
And now they're going to have a play. They're going to have a conference, John. I don't know what they could change here.
You know, from that replay, I don't think Raul Ibanez looked at Tim Welke and said, okay, he called foul, so I gave up on the play. And this is another look at it. Pay attention to Raul Ibanez and see if he gave up on the play after he looked at Welke or if he continued.
Yep, you knew he wanted to get thrown out, and he finally got thrown out. Welke gave him a lot of rope because I think Welke knew he made a mistake.
Knew he made a mistake.
But Joe wanted more, and he gets tossed out. He is going to protest the game.
Steve is out of the game. Clevenger's saying to Jeff Nelson, he threw the pitch in the same spot twice. The first one you called a strike, the second one you didn't.
Serenity now. First one we showed you on our Liberty Mutual pitch tracks had some tailing action, took it off of the outside corner. You see where Mesoraco's set up. He catches the ball on the left side of his body. And that one was a couple of inches off the outside corner. And Leake, being the crafty pitcher that he is, comes right back and tries to throw the identical pitch. This one a little further away, but Clevenger.
Full count with 2 outs, no score here in the top of the first inning. Payoff pitch just missed in. Weaver really wanted that pitch. Mike Estabrook not calling it. And it's a base on balls with 2 outs here in the first. Brings up John Jaso, the DH. And
boy, thrown out of the game already.
Mike Butcher's been ejected from the ball game, and now Mike Butcher's going to get his 2 cents in.
And that's a product of a pitching coach sticking up for his pitching staff. There's been some pitches in this series where Mike felt that they were strikes and weren't getting the benefit of the call. Well, that's a quick hook there also.
Mike Everett, the second base umpire, the crew chief, is talking with Butcher, as so has his say with Mike Estabrook.
There's that no-seam fastball that Jared throws in on left-handed batters, but the reality is that's, like I mentioned, a pitching coach, you know, you could talk mechanics and other things, but a pitching coach's job is to stick up for his staff, and he wanted to make.
Line drive off of Vogelsong. Scudero knocks it down, throws, not in time. Migueterio. And I don't know about that one.
Bruce Bochy is going to discuss this one with Jerry Lane. And he's already out. I think it was a pretty good call. What do you think?
Well, I think
he was out.
Yep.
That first freeze frame, I don't think the ball was in the glove yet. But he only had a couple words with Lane and he got tossed.
Must have been the key words.
Yeah, he was out. Couple inches. It's in there and he's out. Except he's not out.
Except the bases stay loaded. And the hitter will be Suzuki. 4 runs in here in the 3rd inning.
And the first pitch is a strike. Joyce 1 of 11 lifetime. And now Joe Madden having some words with Rob Drake here. And Madden's going to be ejected from this game already for talking balls and strikes here.
Well, Joe Madden is livid, trying to fire his team up. He's tired of seeing it. This fastball, boy, oh boy, he didn't really give it a second thought because it looked to be so far off the plate.
Joe West coming down. He's the crew chief. So Madden after Rob Drake, and now Joe West in between them. So Madden ejected for arguing balls and strikes.
On the ground, chopped as Quintanilla on the backhand gets the green, gets it there in time.
There was some kind of discussion between Gonzalez and the home plate umpire as he went by. I have no clue what that might have been about. Did he think it was catcher's interference?
Time's called, and he's going to eject somebody. I'm guessing Adrian. Mike Everett had heard enough. Took the mask off, looked into the Red Sox dugout, and has either tossed Valentine or Gonzalez. But Bobby's coming out now. Never look back or appear to make any contact. Now Valentine's been tossed. Nine total ejections for the Red Sox this season. Fourth time Bobby Valentine has been ejected, and he and Adrian are both going.
Yeah, I saw Gonzalez as he was coming back by the home plate umpire Everett complain about something. Now I can't imagine what it was, because I don't think it was a pitch he was complaining about. Maybe he thought there was catcher's interference. That's the only thing I could think of.
He never looked back, though, as we saw the pitch and the contact of the bat. It never made contact at all. The catcher, he never looked back in that direction until he came back. And
right.
Right now, Ethier's got nobody to work with.
Dodgers went 1-2-3 at the top of the first inning. Shane Victorino. Oh, has someone been thrown out? Yes.
Yep. Donnie was chipping at him a little bit from the bench. Oh, Matt Kemp got thrown out. Kemp's got to be careful here. Don't make any inadvertent contact. Victorino out there to help out as well. But what a brilliant move here by Shane Victorino. Joined the team just a couple of weeks ago, and he's the guy out there making sure that the star of this team stays in the game. You see Kemp now leaning up against the umpire. He's trying just to get to have his say with the guy who threw him out of the game. But you can't be making contact with another umpire. You'll get suspended.
But obviously Matt Kemp is not happy at all right now. He has been ejected from this game.
It's so hard to get ejected from a ball game from sitting on the bench.
The home plate umpire Angel Campos is well, he's hearing it from Don Mattingly. Don may have been thrown out now too.
Now you really have to say some bad stuff from the bench to get kicked out of a game from in the dugout. And Donnie right now is saying, you cannot take my best player out of this ball game. Wasn't even involved in a play. He struck out in his last at bat.
And that's the first time that Matt Kemp has been ejected from a game this year. and it's early. It's the top of the second inning. Dodgers got to play the rest of the game without him. It's Angel Campos, who is the home plate umpire. He's there with number 84 on the side of his right sleeve. And he's the guy that Don Mattingly has the big major beef with.
Ian Kinsler caught looking at strike 3, and he is saying something to Vic Carapazza. And now Ron Washington out there too late as Kinsler is thrown out of the ball game. Kinsler at first looked like he didn't have very much of a heated argument going with Carapazza, and all of a sudden Carapazza ran him. I would imagine that Ian touched on the magic phrase or magic group of words that will get you run out. And the crew chief, Jeff Kellogg, coming down from third base to try and usher Kinsler back to the Ranger dugout. Ron Washington, meanwhile, still talking to Carapazza. So a disputed third strike, and Kinsler is not only rung up, but he's run out.
First pitch swinging. Ground ball to Machado at third. Made a very nice play.
Machado deep in the third base, firing to first. Reynolds saves it, and he is out at first base by the umpires. So. Call it first by Jeff Kellogg.
Yeah, well, here comes Jim Leland. You know, a very quick, a lot on the throw, but it sure looked like he was off the bag. Tom Brookins is. Take a look right here. Nice range. Look at this. That's about 5 steps. So again, over rotates a little bit, not even close. I mean, Peralta's, it's not like he's going to beat it. Well, maybe, nope. And when he catches it. So that is a huge break for the Orioles.
Well, you got to give Reynolds not only some credit for the play happening, but
well, you're right, but you're either out or you're not, and I'm sure Jim Leland's going to say that. Well, they're going to come change that. Oh no! Don't get thrown out, Mark.
Reynolds just got thrown out.
Well, this is, and first of all, it's an equipment violation, and that's what Buck Showalter is going to say. Nobody saw the play, but the second base umpire, Vic Carapazza, threw him out.
Buck just got thrown out.
Well, first of all, you know, Reynolds throws his glove down. We're going to show you that and what's going to happen. So, you know, again, it's all started by the first base umpire, Jeff Kellogg, not getting the play right. But, you know, again, it's not a definitive play. So now right here, he's going to tell him and write that. Now, you can see the second base umpire. That's an equipment violation. You don't get thrown out for that. If you throw your helmet, you get fined. And again, Buck's not touching any of the umpires. There's no reason that you should throw him out.
Now, wait a second. Yeah. Reynolds is walking back out onto the field.
Yeah, I think they didn't get that right. And you can't throw him out for throwing his glove. He never said a word to him.
How about that?
Well, let's get at least part of this right.
There's about 4 pieces here to this.
Well, how many times have you ever? I've been around a long time, and I don't see all the plays. Have you ever seen a first baseman umpire to go anybody, whether the guy was on or off the base?
No, and I've never seen a call like that ever overturned. I've seen home runs overturned. Now Reynolds is walking back off.
Yep. Well, again, you usually don't get tossed. If you throw your bat or your helmet, And nobody saw it. Now, so he throws his glove down. And Carapazza doesn't have, I mean, this is just a knee-jerk reaction. It's a pennant race. There's no reason to do this.
The pictures speak for themselves.
And I think, I'm wondering if Buck's going to protest this game.
He has 6 strikeouts.
Now it calls the low ones too. Boy. Now Kendo just got thrown out of this game. And he's saying up over his head, down on his ankles.
Kendo had enough. Mike Matheny's trying to save him a bit, but Oquendo is wanting to be heard.
Obviously, you can't argue balls and strikes, but if Kendo had seen enough, and it's the same strike zone for both sides, but it's a little bigger than what we're accustomed to seeing. Of course, the Pirates yesterday, they saw Kemp and Don Mattingly get ejected from a game. Let's look at this last pitch. Oh, look at how far outside that is. So the pitch before looked like it was above the shoulders. That one's 6 inches outside. They're waiting for a first base coach. As Mahoney will go over to third base. He's quite familiar with that as he was a AAA manager and he coached third base for Memphis. And somebody's got to get their pants on. Mike Aldretti with
okay, now that's a new one for me.
He's impersonating Steve Lyons.
Escobar 1 for 3 on his day. Had a base hit in the 6th inning. And he takes a strike. Well placed, down and in.
Some words now for home plate umpire Jeff Nelson. Escobar didn't like that call.
Kirkman continues from the stretch. Pitch is hit in the air to right center field. Should be easy for Gentry as he drifts in that direction. Battles the sun and makes the catch. And the Blue Jays let another big opportunity get away. 2 straight innings with the bases loaded. This time with 1 out, and the Blue Jays fail to score. Got a discussion going on the field. Yunel Escobar has apparently been ejected by the home plate umpire. That's Jeff Nelson behind the plate. John Farrell getting in his say, but Escobar, we saw Sam have some words after the first strike was called. Escobar maybe continued that discussion, if you will, after he hit the fly ball to right center.
Yeah, and I think now Jeff Nelson is pointing to the rest of the umpires as to what was said. And oddly enough, you go back to a game between the Dodgers and the Pirates a couple of days ago. This was the umpire crew that ejected Don Mattingly, Joe Blanton, and Matt Kemp from a game that the Pirates ended up winning 10-6. That game, both Mattingly and Kemp were ejected in the 2nd inning for arguing balls and strikes. And here it is, that same umpiring crew back at it again. And now John Farrell getting into that heated conversation. Tim Cheetah, now the crew chief, steps in, and it looks as if everyone's been separated here.
And the way John Farrell's pointing as if out towards shortstop or second base tells me that maybe Escobar didn't finish the conversation to get thrown out until he took the field defensively.
Yeah, and it's on his way back out to the field.
Here's Unell getting back out defensively.
But why are you inciting?
Yeah.
Why are you inciting? If you're the umpire in this situation, the play is gone. Of course they're looking at one another. At that point, you don't see Escobar saying anything other than staring back. And then the home plate umpire there, and in this case Jeff Nelson, pointing out to Escobar and giving him the heave-ho.
You're over the top. Oh boy, got him.
Torres took off too soon. He's in no man's land. And the Rockies execute the rundown, and Pacheco can't tag him out.
Oh,
and Torres got back safely.
Well,
Jim Trace is going to come out to argue this. It looked like Pacheco had run him down, but the second base umpire, Lance Barksdale, said no.
Well, Barksdale did not move with the runner, got a little lazy, and he got screened off. Now he's not running. He's got to run back. Now he gets screened. Clearly he tagged him out. That's just a bad call. What can I tell you? He got him easily.
And now they're apparently going to reverse the call. And Terry Collins is out to argue. Third base umpire Fieldon Colbreth came over and apparently told Barksdale that he saw the tag. And there it is. It was obvious that he was tagged. But Colbreth, helping his partner on the play, has reversed the call, and now Terry Collins is into it with both of those umpires.
Well, I've seen this happen before, and they are within their right. If someone else has seen it and the visiting manager asks for help, another umpire with a better view, and he gets overruled, I've seen that happen before. Now Terry's got a right to gripe, but to me, really the best angle was first base umpire.
And Terry's been run from the game, so now get his money's worth. Well, it all started with terrible base running by Andres Torres. With one out and the pitcher up, he's trying to steal third base, and he took off too soon. And eventually got tagged down on the rundown, and clearly the umpires got it right in the end.
And it's not a good rundown performed defensively by the Rockies. Too many throws. But good heads up by Chacin here. Oh, they had the pickoff on. That's 165 on your scorecard. That's not a bad rundown. Hey, 2 throws. And he clearly tagged him.
Got him right on the rear end.
It's a pretty good day.
Well, Shields doing a good job of hopefully pitching the Rays to a win, and he gets a call, third strike on Hosmer, and he's upset. He didn't like the call.
Well, you can read his lips right there. He said, come on, that's down. He thinks that ball is down. I think Shields put that about kneecap high right on the outside corner. Let's take a look. It's borderline. It's close. And you can see it cross right over the knees.
And I think Scott Berry just ejected, I guess, Ned Yost. I'm not sure if he ejected Hosmer or Yost, but now the Kansas City manager out here to put up a beef.
Hit, it's in the gap. June over, trying to cut it off. Cut it off. Seager turns. He's going for 2. Here's the throw, and they didn't get him. Oh, baby! Cabrera says he had him. He's hopping mad, and Ed Hickox. Kipnis joins the fray. Here comes Manny Acta. The throw and the tag was there, but I'm wondering if he got the hand in before he slapped the tag on him.
Let's see where he tags him. The glove's down in front. He pulls it back. You see that? And he might have got that hand in there.
Manny Acta has just been ejected from the game.
Why not?
Oh, Mauer hit by the pitch on 3-0.
And that ball hit him in the back. That pitch wasn't even close, and Ron Gardner is not happy about that at all, because a guy like Oswald, who has very good command and always has, misses his target by about 3.5 feet.
That'll fire up the dugout.
Oh, it'll fire everybody up, because this is absolutely on purpose. You can say what you want, but you don't miss a target by 3 feet when you're a veteran pitcher like that on a 3-0 count. And everybody in the ballpark knows, or in the dugouts and sitting up here, I know that that's definitely, you know, Joe's hit the double early in the ball game and has had success here in this ballpark. And but guess what?
There you go. And they're throwing Diamond out of the game. No warnings.
Gardy isn't going to last long in this ball game, I promise you that. Because Wally Bell had his chance to do something and at least warn the guys, and he did not, and I told you that. Wally Bell's the right guy to have. He didn't warn him, but because that ball went behind Hamilton's head, he throws Scott Diamond out of the ball game.
3-0. You can read his lips.
And this is the part of baseball that is disappointing, that the rules have been changed and things have been changed. And Wally Bell knows it, and he's taken an earful from Gardy. And Wally Bell's been around this league a long time, and he's just doing what the league has told him, but he knows that he's wrong. Wally Bell, I promise you, knows at home plate that what's going on right now is old school baseball in the way it should be played, and he's not able to do what he wants to do. I promise you that.
Hamilton coming up to Mauer, and had a good time in Kansas City at the All-Star game, didn't we?
Wally Bell mask off, Joe keeps the mask on. Everybody knows what's going to happen. And you look at the look on Wally Bell's face going, well, I know what I got to do, and this stinks.
This is not going to be a fun next 5 minutes.
Nope. He knew it as soon as that ball was thrown. He had to throw him out of the game. And unfortunately for the Twins, that Scott Diamond did not make contact with Hamilton, because that's what they want to have happen.
Smoke was another.
And now he's just throwing AJ out. I tell you, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, if you look where that pitch was, AJ had a legitimate complaint.
Lance Barrett has been absolutely brutal. Brutal.
Well, you'd have to believe that Robin's probably going to go also. There it is.
He is absolutely brutal. Jim Joyce, the crew chief. Robin's hotter than he was the last time he got upset. Lance Barrett's just stunk the joint up is all he's done. That's all he's done. He's terrible. Wow. This is one of those films right there. I mean, one of the games, the film's going back to the American League office just to show how bad he's been.
Well, finally, Jim Joyce has settled down. I don't know why he was that angry.
I know it.
He's not making the calls. He wanted to defuse the situation. I can understand that. But you don't defuse it by getting as angry as the manager. Tyler Flowers is going to come in behind the plate. It's best that Quintana start to throw the baseball a little bit because he's been standing out there for a while. Now watch the bottom of the strike zone. See, that ball had a good piece of the bottom of the strike zone. Lance Barrett called it a ball.
Well, everything that Blake Bevan has thrown up there that Oliva has caught has been a strike. If he caught it, it was a strike. He's got two different strike zones.
That's laced into left field. Marwin Gonzalez coming to the plate. Duda with the throw home. And the tag by Shopik, and he's out. Gonzalez has been tossed. He threw his batting helmet on the out call by Dave Rackley, and he was tossed out of the game. Now here's Tony DeFrancesco arguing.
And Duda had the play earlier on Marvin where he couldn't catch that line drive, but he got a measure of redemption by throwing him out at home on a very close play. It looked like Marwin was ahead of the throw. The question was Shopik able to keep him off of home plate or not? To my eye, in real time, I thought he did. I thought he blocked the plate, but we'll get a couple looks at it here. You see the play. We'll get a good look here as Marwin tries to get the back corner and never does. Good call and great play by Shopik.
It really was.
Obviously thought he got home plate, but the look we had said no.
Ground ball towards third base. Abreu with a bobble. Throw to first is in time. Oh. Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, he was well off the bag. Hosmer pulled his foot. He came off the bag to retrieve that throw. Jerry Lane, the crew chief, makes his way over from third base. Dan Bellino, the first base umpire, I think flat missed it. And Bobby Valentine's tossed. Fifth time that he has been ejected. He's not going quietly. Not only did he beat it, I don't think his foot was on the bag.
Well, that's a whole season of frustration coming out right there of Bobby Valentine, and you can't blame him. This is a horrible call at first base. He beat it, and the foot was off the bag.
The payoff pitch and a slow curve got him looking. Cabrera doesn't like the call. Be careful. Oh, he is all up in Gary Darling's face, and now he's been ejected from the game. So Cabrera rung up on a called third strike, and one finger point to his face got him ejected.
Well, that's right. You don't point. You don't raise your finger. If you got your say it. And now frustration setting in. We'll see. Let's see if the ball is down. It's a curveball. It did look down. It did. He may have a legitimate beef, but there's ways of going about that where you're more important to your team in the ball game, not out of it.
The swing, even though he was fooled.
Harper guides one right side. Carlos Lee for one, and close and out at first. And Bryce Harper slams his helmet to the ground, and C.B. Buckner throws him out of the game.
I think CB took that personally. I think Bryce was just upset that he hit into a double play.
That was a how dare you throw your helmet at my feet. I'm the umpire, and you're out of this game.
And nobody's ever been mad at grounding into a double play before.
It's an emotional game, and it's an emotional guy. And maybe C.B. Buckner thought that Bryce was upset about the call, but up by 4 runs. If you know anything about anybody in this ball club, it's all they care about is winning.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper hustling like he usually does. Throws his helmet down. Is ejected from this game. A great night for Bryce Harper ends strangely.
His health has been good this year. Waves at and missed, and that bat is history. And he's gotten thrown out.
That's frustration right there. Nelly's had some borderline pitches called on him almost every at bat. You know, it's one thing to have 1 or 2 called. He's had a lot of them called, and you know, then he swings at a bad pitch and it just boils over. And I'm not sure if he said anything to the umpire. It looked when he turned his, I don't know if the umpire threw him out for smashing his bat.
Yeah.
It looked like Buzz when he turned his head. He got the heave.
Yeah, did more than just turn his head.
Yeah, Nelly's a calm guy. He just let that one go. He just reached his boiling point tonight. It's as simple as that. He's got a pretty high boiling point too.